Hey guys, it's Maymay and welcome back to part 2 of our gingerbread album. I don't really know what we're calling it. What I do want to tell you is, since I have made this one in part 1, we have all talked about what all this could be. So for future videos or for future projects you want to make, think about this. It could be a church, it could be a barn, it could be a school, it could be a log cabin, which was Tamitha's suggestion. We had so many different things you could do just doing this basic little topper. Now, if it's your first time seeing us, you'll want to go check out part 1, because in part 1, I show you how to take a landscape album, just like this. It's just a pre-made landscape album, and turn it into a little house using our roof system that we make here. And we did that again in part 1. Now, I want to stop here with my decorating. I want to come back and do all the little cutesy bits later. What I want to do is get to the inside. So here's what we're going to do. For our album, also, let me tell you something. When you're working, make sure you sit this out of the way so you don't accidentally bend it or whatever. Just don't sit it and pile stuff on top of it. Ask me how I know. So we're going to put that up there. And I want to work inside of here. Now, my pages are going to be like this, okay? So they're going to be up and down, which is different because normally we would do this one, you know, this way. But they're going to be like this. I want this to be a 12 Days of Christmas album. Here's something really cool about that. These albums, these pre-made albums, line up perfectly to be 12 days because you can do 4 photos, 4 photos, 4 photos. Now, I know you just want me to get to work, but I got to show you some of the key players in this project so you'll know what's fixing to happen, okay? The biggest player is our prompted memory stamp set. Here's why. This set is made so that you can prompt yourself for photos, okay? So I'm going to do just that. In this album, I'm going to make some little pieces that will tell me what photo to put in. So we're going to use this for that. I've made a list. We'll get to that in a few minutes. But, and Shannon and I were talking about this because we were both kind of designing this together, and here's what I think. I want my pages to lay out very similar to each other. I don't want 12 differently designed pages. The reason for that, I want the photo to be the point of the page. So when you see me do this one, mine are going to be very similar to each other. Like, I'm going to kind of mass produce this. If you want to do it different, go for it. But I think you'll like this idea as we get to it. All right, step 1. Now we get to work. So for covering the pages, the cool thing about this album is you can use 6 by 8 pieces to cover all the pages. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to our 2 paper packs that we are still using. All the products are linked in the description, just like from the first video. And I'm going to cut 12 6 by 8 pieces. We'll get right back together. So to find those pages I'm going to cover, I'm just going to go through the paper pack and pick out the ones that I like. But I want to show you something. I'm not using this one in particular, but I want to make a point out of it. So see how this is a pattern on this side and then also a pattern on this side? So I can get 2 pages from here, but let me show you how to cut it. What I want you to do, if you're working with a 12 by 12, is cut the 8-inch first, and let me show you why. Even though we're doing a 6 by 8, if you were to cut this page in half at 6 first, you give yourself 2 small scraps. Let me show you what I mean, okay? So if I lay this here, I'm gonna move my trimmer out of the way so you can see. If I lay this here, like so, you can see that by cutting the 8 first, I leave myself this big scrap that I can use for other decorating. But if you went 6 first, you cut this little piece in half. That may not be such a big deal to you, but to me it is, because I can use this for strips if I need to now, or whatever in the album, rather than being locked into just 6-inch pieces, okay? So I wanted to show you that, and now let me show you what we got cut. So you'll see here, I have this page, right? If you look at the back, it's this. But so here's what I did. I got 1, 2 from that page, you see? So here's another one. And if you look on the back, it's this guy. So I got 1 and 2 from that page, all right? So fortunately for me in this one, I'm even gonna be able to use this guy because that'll be cute with a little photo on it. I'm gonna go through. I only had to use 1 piece that had cut-aparts on the back. And let me show you which one it is. These are the pages I'm going to be using. This guy, I wanted to use these polka dots, and it had cut-aparts. I'm going to use it. I'm not going to be making an advent calendar out of this paper pack, so I'm not going to stress about that, because that's what those are the advent cut-aparts. So there's my 12 pages to go in the book. Now, I don't usually do this, but I'm going to show you a little pre-planning I've done before this goes into the book. So I told you we're using this stamp set. What I decided to do was go ahead and decide the themes of my 12 days. You see, Shannon wrote that because you can actually read it. If I wrote it, you couldn't have read it. So there you go. So these are my 12 days. Also, I want to show you this. Not only are all the words here, but they're also on the back of this stamp set. So if you want to go here and see what words are on the stamp set, they're alphabetically listed for you here, okay? So these are the days I'm going to do. So the reason I wanted to pay attention to this now is because I might want to put these in the book in a certain way. Like, for example, I know for a fact, number 3, decorating the tree, I want to use this page. So if you want to put them in the book in a certain way, like if maybe decorating the tree is the first thing you do, then you'll want to pay attention to that. For me, that's not as important. We just do the same things every year. I don't really care what order they are in the book, but I wanted to point that out to you. So I'm going to glue these into the book and we'll move on from there. Okay guys, I got all of the pages covered inside and now it's time to lay the pages out. So let me show you my plan for layout. I want every page to have a 4x6 photo and it's gonna live like this. And I pretty much feel like every page it's gonna live right here in the middle top of every page. Remember I told you I wanted to have consistency? This paper pack has this set of tags in it and we're always looking for ways to use these tags, and I think I found the perfect spot. These are going to be what holds my prompted memories. So where do we start? Cutting these tags apart. It's not hard to do. They've given you these little gray lines as your guide, so you want to place that into your trimmer right on the cut line and cut that one down. Now you're like, yeah, but look at that big white space in the middle. If you turn this over and cut on these lines, even though these aren't going to be what we show, or they might be, I don't know when we get designing, I'm going to use this to help me cut everything apart using these lines. All right, it's time to start stamping. We need to make our 4x6 photo mats. I need 12 of them. I'm using Picture Perfect. I don't even have a clean one to show you guys because you guys buy this out every single time we get it. You even get my clean one. I get this one. This is mine. Okay, so let's do the stamping. So I have the 4x6 loaded here, and this piece is 4x6. And just use your inexpensive white paper for this. It's going to get covered up, so you don't want it to be super, super precious. And honestly, if you're making this album for yourself, you don't even have to do this part. You know what size photo would go there, but I use it because if I do decide to give it as a gift, it'll be ready. How many times do you make something that is for yourself and then when you finish, you're so proud of it, you give it as a gift? I do it a lot. So there's a good chance this one will get gifted and I'll make another one. That's okay, it's super fun. All right, gotta make 12. All right, it's time to stamp. This is the fun part. We're gonna be using this guy. We're gonna be stamping all of our tags, and I've got my list to keep me on track. So you can see I got all my stamping done, and we went ahead and mounted them to some paper that coordinates just, again, from the paper packs that we're using. I'm not pulling out any others at this point. And look, I got all of this stamping done, and I really love how these turned out. I think these are gonna be super cute on the page. Now, before we go to the page, I'm gonna prep these again, also a little bit more work on those. So what I'm gonna do is take my hole punch, I'm gonna use the larger size, and I'm gonna go right in here and go ahead and punch a hole where there should be one. It's like lined out for you right there. I'm gonna punch that hole on all of these guys, and I'll just show you what I'm gonna do and then go do it. Then I'm gonna take, obviously, my bead threader, because that's how I roll, and a piece of twine. Shannon was fixing to throw them at me. She just cut all these. A piece of twine. This is 10-inch twine, in case you're wondering. We're just gonna slip knot it through. I just think this will be cute on the inside to have this, and we can like glue it in kind of a curvy shape, which I'm terrible at, by the way. I'm really bad at that loose placement, but practice makes better. That's what we'll say, because not perfect. All right, so I'm going to feed this guy through with the bead threader like so, and we're just slip knotting it through that circle. And I'm going to do that to all the tags. Now remember, this is 65-pound cardstock. Don't pull. This will come right out. You don't mind if it's loose. We are probably going to pop this up on foam, which is a good idea inside the album. But I'm going to get all these tags prepped, and we'll get ready to put them in the album. So for putting these guys in, here's my plan. I'm going to go through each one of the pages and pick which one of these background mats I want for each page. Does that make sense? Like, I'm seeing which ones, which colors we have. I kind of like this pink. I think that'll really pop on the tree. Isn't that cute? So something like that. And then I got to find which prompt this is. Remember, using the prompted memory set. By the way, I don't think I said this earlier. The prompted memory set is a set I did with my friend Lisa from Lisa Wise Designs. We'll link her channel in the description. Okay, so I got to go through and look for decorating the tree. So here's the tag for that, decorating the Christmas tree. And now I just designed the layout of the page. You know, I thought I would want it to be at the top center, but now I'm kind of thinking maybe like this. And when I put this little guy in, I'll make sure that the foam tape, because I am going to use foam tape on this one, I'll make sure that the foam tape lifts it up so I can get a picture underneath it. That's kind of a cute layout like that, isn't it? But don't worry, if you don't like that, you can do it the opposite. You can come down here and do it nice and neat like this. You can let these ribbons hang out of the book if you want. I'll probably glue mine up. You can turn them at an angle and then maybe glue your ribbons up. You're gonna see me do different things, but what I'm gonna do is this process throughout the book and let you watch me do it. And I'm gonna be using Scotty, and I wanna show you something. If you don't know what Scotty is, it's my foam tape, my Scotch foam tape. I'm gonna cut like a long piece off, okay? I've got a lot of these tags to do. So I'm gonna cut a long piece like this. And what I like to do is hang it off of my desk. You can't see it, but I'll stick like the very top to my desk and just reach down and pull clips as I need it. So I'm gonna stick that to the desk. I wish you could see it, but you can't. And then I get this piece, and now this is what I'm gonna work with. So on the back of this tag, I know, am I gonna put it at the bottom? I don't know, it's cute at the bottom, isn't it? Probably will. If I'm gonna put it at the bottom, I know I wanna cover here and here. So I don't need a huge piece, and I don't wanna waste Scotty. Scotty is a, you know, hot commodity, it's expensive. So I'm gonna cut some down. So I got a little piece cut off, see that? And I'm gonna put that here on this end. And you really don't need every single ounce that's gonna touch the page covered. You really don't. Then I'm gonna come up here and get some, and I wanna place it in this area. And then maybe one more piece. And see how little I'm gonna use? A couple reasons. Number one, nobody's gonna be pulling and tugging on it, okay? It's gonna be in the book, and that's another reason. It's gonna be closed in the book, so it'll be fine. So let's take the backer off. Oop, I'm not ready. I gotta glue my little photo piece down. You're probably all going, not yet, not yet. So I'm gonna glue this guy in. So I'm gonna put him up here toward the top, and I'm just kind of leaving the same distance from one side to the other out like this, like so. Then what I'm gonna do is add a little bit of glue onto my foam, just some dots, and that just gives me a second backup of glue, you see? So now when I put this guy down, he's super cute and he's on the page and he's stuck down, but I have all this space, let me show you, to put, I'll grab one of these guys, to put a 4x6 in there without having to change anything here, and it works, right? So I'm gonna run through and do this. Now, am I done on the page? Not necessarily. I have other stickers and all that kind of stuff I might wanna use, but this is the next step. Let me show you. See all the strings hanging out? I'll deal with the strings soon enough. But look at this. Every page is now covered, and I have my prompted memory. What I love about this is if you give this as a gift, the person you're giving it to knows, add a picture of Christmas shopping here, right? Add a picture of your Christmas lights here. It just makes sense, you see? And I'm loving this. Now, what I want to do, again, I'm just going to do and let you guys see me do at least most of it. I want to go through the paper pack and look at the stickers. Let's get them out. And I still have a lot of cut aparts, but I'm going to start with the stickers first and see if I want to add any throughout. I've got these little spaces here and down here that I can decorate on. Now, to save me a little step, this is not necessarily something you have to do. I don't really want to do a lot of covering over where my picture will be because I don't want to have to do a lot of prep for that. I just want to go through and kind of put what I can in. Let me show you this other cut apart. I'm in love with this one, and I want to use my favorite memories in here for sure. I might even use Dear Santa because I think it'd be cute maybe to write Dear Santa this year was da-da-da-da-da and then do this one. But I want to use use these little journaling spots, and I'll show you where I'm going to do that. I want to put them in the cover sections because I think that'd be neat to have a place to like write about the year. So we're going to do that. And then I got one more to show you. This one has some really great titles. So you might see me use some of these little title pieces as we go along in and around the page. So this is the inside of the house. So let me show you, here's the house, and I've gone to the inside cover, and let me show you what works. I had to play around a little bit to see if it worked, but it does. So remember I told you I wanted to use these cut aparts for all my journaling? Look, fits right here, and then I can take two of the other ones, like these little guys, and put them right next to it, and look how it fills up the page. I need to trim that one a little. I didn't cut it very well, but look at that. I love that. Let me trim this one down a little bit. So what I'm going to do is glue this one down first and let it be the one that tells me how to do the others. But how cool is this? I love how this is working out. Now I'm going to do the back. And you remember how I told you that I might want to put like the Dear Santa list back here? Because I think this would be cute to kind of list like the favorite gifts of the year, or the thing that we were shopping for that year, or whatever. Just something about the year itself, a good place to journal. And then I've got two more of these guys to add other little snips and clips from the year. Won't that be perfect? That's where it's going. I love that. That was just a happy accident. Those worked out perfect. That looks like a kit, doesn't it? Like we meant to do that. All right, so there is that. Let's see how much we got done today. So I know you want to see it with the lid on, so I put the little lid on, and we'll stand it up and see it standing. Isn't that cute? I know it's hard for you to see, but it is standing on its bottom like so, okay? So we take the little lid off, and then let's open. So we go forward, and there is that page with our little notes. I'm in love with this, y'all. I'm in love. I'm gonna have to get so much paper to do this with. This is gonna make so many albums. Look how cute this is. And I love the prompted memories part, how it's telling us what photo to put where. Do we have stickers left? We do. Do we have cut aparts left? We sure do. We can make multiples of these, or we can save those for when we put the photos in and add more later. So there's that page. It's a little hard to show you in camera, but I'm gonna try that one, and then that one. And then if we flip it down, we see this one here. Let's open this guy. Look at this one. Here comes Santa. It's the picture. Oh, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to fill this up. I probably won't get to be honest. This will probably end up being a gift for someone, but I can always make myself another one. But look how great. Now, we only need one more part to this video, because here's what I want to do. I feel like the inside is done. For me, that is great, but I want to add all my cute little decorating pieces to the front. And I'm probably going to put a pretty good bit of stuff on here. So that's going to be part 3. And I hope you guys will stick around for it. It's going to be super fun. I've got some ideas and we'll see how it goes. But this has gotten us started. Are you loving it? Tell me in the comments. Are you loving it? I am loving it. I can see as soon as I show this to everybody in the shop, like when the girls up front see it, they're gonna be wanting me to like take orders for it. They're gonna want so many of them, but maybe we can just have a class together and make a bunch. I think this might make a fun class. That's what we were talking about. This might be a fun one to do. Anyway, thanks so much for being here for part 2. If you are working on this, you know I want to see it. There's a couple of places you can do it. You can head to our customer gallery and share photos there, or our Facebook group, which we just reopened recently, called Maymay Made It, and so did I. All right, guys, thanks so much for being here today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you won't miss part 3 for sure. And until next time, bye now.